Well. I know what you've been thinking. Allegedly. It's been a while. And indeed it has. But, alas, we here. Welcome back at long last to the Field Generals. Now, I will provide an update. So, Drew, for those who don't know, Drew is taking time away from the podcast to deal with a death in the family. He's working on himself, trying to work through the whole process of grieving. Wishing nothing but the best. And once he's ready to cause some more chaos, he'll let me know, and I'll let you guys know. But in the meantime, got a very special guest co-host with me. Introduce yourself.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy A1, one half of the dynamic duo of It's a Black and White Thing with A Ward. You can follow the show. I'm going to YouTube at Brains and Bars. You can follow us on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook by searching at Brains and Bars, all one word. I'm glad to be with you once again, JC. Also, my condolences to Drew on his loss, and my prayers are with him and his people.
Yeah, appreciate you for sure. Yeah. Thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, for sure.
And yeah. Hopeful. Watch Ward show up mid conversation, like what I missed.
It be like that sometimes, man. Ward, like I said, Ward lead a busy life, man, and he lives them. He's on that battle rap time, so sometimes the nap he'll be sitting there and the nap just hit him out of nowhere. Then he wake up and like, oh, bro, my bad. Like that, it just happens, man. It happens,
Wake up like my rebuttal getting crazy.
man. He wake up like, man, that nap was crazy. Yo, but
Yeah,
it's good to be on with you, man. As always.
yes, sir. You guys always come through for me. Much appreciated, man. Yeah. Without further ado, let's just get right into it. This
Let's do it.
NFL season has been kind of crazy for both good and bad reasons. For what it's worth, I mean, quite the
Yeah.
roller coaster. Quite the roller coaster for what it's all things considered. A whole lot of key injuries, losses when there should be wins, wins when there should be losses. Anything you can think of.
Man, so let's start in your hometown, man. I thought Chicago, they were riding a wave of a winning streak. You got Baltimore without Lamar Jackson. Tyler Huntley had not exactly been setting the world on fire. So I thought, and now granted, you never want to chalk up anything as an automatic win in the NFL. But I thought that the Bears, like I said, they were what 3 game winning streak, 4 game winning streak.
Yeah. Because they lost the first two, then won the next three. So.
Yeah, so I just thought that they were in the space and place where they were going to start showing the rest of the league that they were turning that corner. And Caleb struggled, didn't have a good game. And the Ravens were able to do their thing, and that was a huge win for them. They're basically in win now mode for the rest of the season, already having 5 losses, so they needed a W badly. They go to 2-5, and we'll talk week 9 coming up, but they got Thursday night football against I almost said Detroit, against the Dolphins, and they get Lamar Jackson back, and they're starting to get some of their players who've been injured back into the mix. And so we'll see what happens to them. To stick with the AFC, coming off the Ravens, man, the Chiefs. A lot of people had them dead and buried at 0-2. When they lost the game against Jacksonville to go 2-3, people thought, oh man, maybe this is the year that somebody else can take the crown. And then the last 3 games, it's been BTA against the teams that they faced. The offense has been amazing. They've scored 28 points. I think, even though they've lost that game against Jacksonville, but I think they scored 28 points in their or more their last 5 games. And that offense is looking like it's back. The defense still it's bend but don't break right now. They'll still give up some yards. They'll still give up some points, but they're getting the stops when they need them. And they're
Yeah,
looking
for
like a
sure.
team to be reckoned with.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
especially considering Chris Jones is still wreaking havoc on that line. The secondary is really doing what they can given the circumstance. And honestly, pick it back into the Bears for a second.
Yeah.
I figured that with Tyler Huntley at quarterback, without Lamar Jackson, without some of the depth that they have at receiver, you would think the defense would have had a better game plan, but they just looked lost the entire game for whatever reason.
I
If,
mean, I'm more shocked at the offense. Like everyone who's played the Ravens this year has gotten their bars off. Like they have put up buku points. Everyone they face has run roughshod on them. I think that before that game, they had given up some of the most or one of the highest point totals in the league. And so to see them shut down again, Caleb Williams did not have a good game. I was very surprised at that. And like you said, I thought facing Tyler Huntley, who again had not played well at all, he is their third starter, right? Because they ended up going away from their backup quarterback, who
Cooper Rush.
Cooper Rush. They ended up going from Cooper Rush to Tyler Huntley. Tyler Huntley had not set the world on fire. So I agree. I thought that the Bears defense had been playing really well, and I thought that they would make life tough for them, put them in lots of third and long situations to make Tyler Huntley have to beat them instead of Derrick Henry. And they let Derrick Henry have a decent game. Let it have a decent game. They couldn't get the stops, and the offense did them no favors.
Yeah. I was gonna say, obviously there was no stopping Derrick Henry. Period. So their best bet to win defensively was the passing game, and they essentially couldn't do that. I mean, to play devil's advocate a little bit, it didn't help that a couple of the key pieces of the secondary and the front seven were out, but still, you gotta work with what you have.
You
Really,
do, you do.
really, no excuses at the end of the day.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, listen, as a fan of a team that's one of the most injured in the league in the San Francisco 49ers, they're 5-3 right now, but they probably won two games they shouldn't have because of all the injuries that they suffered. And they suffered major injuries to Bosa, to oh my gosh, I'm blanking on my guy's name. Fred
Mhm.
Warner, right? Losing their vocal leader, the heart and soul of their defense. And then this past game, they were about another defensive line injury away from getting on Twitter and DMing me and see if I could suit up at halftime. You know what I'm saying? Like they're super banged up. They made a trade to go and get to try to bolster their defensive line for getting Keon White from New England. They signed Cleveland Farrell, and he's probably going to be in the rotation this weekend. So they are just a super banged up team, but injuries are going to happen. You hope that they don't happen in bunches, but you still got to be able to go out there with your guys and compete and win. And the Ravens are one of the more banged up teams in the league as well, missing a lot of people on the defensive side of the ball from them. And so again, like you said, there's no excuse. You got to go out there with the people you got, and you got to make plays. And Chicago didn't do enough for that on Sunday.
Yeah. Although I will say, I'll take everything this has been over anything Matt Eberflus ever did. I,
He had a
I,
rough day Sunday. He had a rough day Sunday too. I mean, I believe in Ben Johnson. I think Ben
yeah,
Johnson
me too.
is, as he continues to add and build and with Ryan Poles, the GM, get talent on the team. I think DeAndre Swift is coming along nicely, having one of his better seasons. I mean, it really falls down to Caleb. Like Caleb he's got to be better, and he's played well. Obviously, Sunday wasn't his best performance, but he's been decent this year. He had some ups and downs, but I think we would feel a lot differently about them had they won that first game of the season, where I felt like they against no, was it the first or second game where they played Minnesota? That was the first game, right? Monday Night
Yeah,
Football.
yeah.
They played well for a half, and then in the second half, they let Minnesota kind of run roughshod on them and take over. I think had they been able to finish that game off and win, I think we would feel a lot differently about them, even losing this particular game to the Ravens. But it's just been kind of that it's a roller coaster, and he's only in the second year. This is his second year with a second year quarterback, first year with a new offense. So it's going to take a while. And you listen, that offense that Ben Johnson had in Detroit, it was a work in progress. And so I hope people can be patient and allow them to grow, allow them to keep stacking talent, keep building on that offensive line. They made a bunch of moves to fortify it, but continue to build that offensive line, get some more weapons at running back, maybe another wide receiver. I know he's again, it's going to take a while, but with Luther Burden, Roma Dunze, DJ Moore, maybe another tight end because that was one of the staples of that Ben Johnson offense in Detroit. So having two tight ends. They got Colston Loveland, Cole Kmet. Maybe they go get another one. I don't know. There's a lot of reason to be optimistic for the Bears, even as they kind of go through their growing pains right now.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. But my thing is like with guys like Joe Tooney, Drew Dahlman, Jonah Jack. Like obviously like Jonah Jackson is one of the more younger pieces on the offensive line, but I think they still have to build through the trenches in that regard. But because guys like Tooney are only going to be in the league for so much longer, and I kind of miss the days where we had like a good strong offensive line on all fronts that was like super. Actually, no, I take that back. Even back then in like 2006, like most offensive line in that era was pretty on the wrong side of 30 with
Yeah.
like John Tate, Fred Miller, Reuben Brown. Only young guy there was even Owen Groot. I mean,
Mhm.
so I guess they're kind of adopting the same mindset, but nonetheless, like all the best offensive line units in the league now are all relatively young. So you kind of have to build in that regard, and hopefully Ryan Poles continues to do that. But because essentially, obviously you can never have too much depth, but we're pretty much good on paper in a lot of facets. And the game, as we both know, starts and stops in the trenches.
For sure. For sure. Yeah. And I mean, again, I think that's something that you're going to see um, the organization try to do. I think they're going to try to emulate that Detroit Lions setup where they were built in the trenches, right? So I think obviously you have Montez Sweat. So they spent some draft capital to go get some guys. They got Montez Sweat. They went and got Grady Jarrett out of Atlanta, but he's a little bit older, right? So I think that's the next thing that I believe that you'll see the Bears do is try to go find their Aiden Hutchinson, right? This particular draft, I
Yeah,
saw a draft analyst say that, that this particular draft is going to be deep at linebacker and that on the defensive line. I think they'll try to, with their first round draft pick, they'll try to go find their guy. Granted, Aiden Hutchinson was a second pick overall in the draft, so they won't be picking that high. But if it is true that this draft is deep in the trenches on the defensive side of the ball, they should be able to find a difference maker on that line that can help make them more formidable. And we'll see where things go from there.
yeah, for sure. But yeah. Just a quick recap of week 8 before we head to this one. Okay, so Chargers beat the Vikings 37-10. Not what I expect. I expected that one to be more of a back and forth, but Justin Herbert has definitely been turning back the clock in a lot of ways, especially with the weapons that he has in Lamb McConkley and Keenan Allen kind of turning back his own clock too. And then that one rookie tight end they got, what's his name?
Arande Gadsden the second.
Yeah, if he is the next Antonio Gates, that Chargers offense is going to be something special for
Yeah,
sure.
that is the most interesting development with the Chargers. They're really banged up on the offensive line. Speaking of the trenches, right? Joe Alt, I believe, came back for that game, but he had missed some time. They lost Rashawn Slater, their cornerstone left tackle for the year, to an ACL injury. They've also lost other players along the offensive line, and so they have struggled to protect Herbert at times. But when he's had decent protection, he's been amazing. And Arande Gadsden, if he is going to be, that to see his development, I think is the most interesting thing, right? Um, and so, his last game here against the Vikings, 5 catches, 77 yards, and a touchdown. He's caught touchdowns in 2 consecutive games, 14, 14 catches and well over 230 yards receiving over the last 2 games. And so, if he can continue to develop, that makes Lack McConkey a little bit better. That makes Quentin Johnston, who I don't think was even targeted in the last game, a little bit better.
No, not at
They get
all. Yeah.
they get Amarion Hampton back from IR in about maybe 2 to 3 weeks. And so that's a team that the Chiefs have won the NFC West, I believe, the last 9 years in a row, 9, 10 years in a row. this could be the year where they break that streak if they can continue to. Again, health is a big thing, right? As they continue to grow, but they got a lot of young pieces. I mean, they got Trey Harris. I believe he caught a touchdown the last game. He's a rookie wide receiver out of Ole Miss, and so there's a lot to like with this Chargers team.
Yeah, and even Kamani Vidal, he's been very serviceable in the absence of Amari Hampton,
Absolutely.
and that could very well be the next 1-2 punch, a la like LaDainian Tomlinson and Darren Sproles.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. So they got some building. To me, it comes down to their defense and can they get stops. I mean, all due respect to Carson Wentz, let me tell you something. This is how I look at backup quarterbacks. Backup quarterbacks are like loaves of bread, right? So when you buy a loaf of bread, you look at that best used by date, right? And you think to yourself, okay, I got until 2 or 3 weeks before this bread is probably not good anymore. Sometimes with your loaf of bread, sometimes you go in there, you got might have a week before that use by date hits, and you see some mold on there, right? Sometimes that bread lasts well past that use by date. That's how backup quarterbacks are. You never know what you're gonna get when you open up that bag. It might be good, it might not be good. You might look at that bread, it might be some mold on that bread. You might be able to cut around that bread if you really from the trenches like that. You ain't letting no mold. You know what I mean? But but sometimes you start going through that bread, you see that mold, it's mold all up in there. It's time to go get you a new loaf. That's what backup quarterbacks are. And listen, JJ McCarthy's been cleared. Unfortunately, Carson Wentz, he's out for the year. I think he hurt with the shoulder injury, but they
Yes.
get JJ McCarthy back, and he again. I feel like the theme of this show is health. He's been banged up much of this year. Obviously, missed all of last year with the knee injury. He's got to prove that he can stay healthy because he was picked to be the franchise cornerstone for this team.
Yeah, and he was supposed to learn from Sam Darnold, much like Mahomes learned from Alex Smith. So,
Yep.
so hopefully he turns that corner. I hated how much he carved up the Bears. Like
Yeah, he had one great quarter, right? Like he was trash for 3 quarters, and then in the fourth quarter he came alive, and that's the best football he's played all season. He has not looked better since week one against the Bears in the fourth quarter.
yeah. Hopefully he doesn't be considered a 1 quarter wonder.
I mean, he might be on his Tim Tebow. You know what I'm saying? That's what Tim Tebow would do. He stink it up for 3 quarters, and then he find magic halfway through the fourth quarter. It was like uh we were talking before the show, and there was a reference about the Monstars and the ball. It was like he got his powers. It was like the
Yeah,
Monstars stole his powers for 3 quarters, and he got it back just in time to save the game. So yeah, I mean, hopefully for his sake, JJ McCarthy is a little bit better than Tim Tebow.
yeah, and he won't have to.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to Tebow. Yeah, and the Bills. Oh, come on, Casey. Yeah, sorry for the interruption. My guy Casey kid calling me. I gotta give him a
Out
time.
to Casey, man.
Yeah, another dope rapper with cerebral palsy. Yeah, go check the battle with me and him out. Very very dope clash on TBL.
Absolutely.
Where were we? Oh yeah, the Bills stopped the Panthers 40-9, as expected, kind of.
Yeah, no, and I mean, sorry, no Bryce Young. Andy Dalton was at quarterback for them, for the Panthers this week. And again, I just made that loaf of bread analogy. It was mold everywhere. Mold everywhere. Couldn't save it. Shout out to James Cook, man, over 200 yards rushing. And with last year when Josh Allen won MVP, and one of the things that people would say is that, well, as making their case for why he should have been the MVP. Well, look at he's doing it with nobody. There's nobody there. And I'm like, yo, James Cook was a top 5 running back in the league last year. And he's
Oh
continued
hell
to make
yeah!
his case of being one of them guys, man. Like he and Josh Allen make that offense go. Yes, it's kind of on the receiving end, it is kind of by committee. Some days Khalil Shakir is getting busy. Sometimes it's Dalton. Keon Coleman comes alive every blue moon, but the two consistent threats on that offense are Josh Allen and James Cook. So shout out to him for having another great game.
Yeah, I feel like the way Josh Allen plays is basically Aaron Rodgers in his prime. Like he's not the most mobile, but he can get the job done on his legs when he needs to. Now sometimes he does overdo it a little bit, but a lot of the times it will work to his benefit. But it's more so because of his strong arm. Like sometimes he'll heave it 80, 90 yards downfield damn near and still complete it just like that. Like he's definitely incredible. It's sort of a bit of down year from his standards, but nonetheless still one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
I'm gonna ask you this. I know you brought up Aaron Rodgers. What do you think about him being a better passing Cam Newton?
Are we talking overall?
Yeah, like because like Cam Newton, nobody wanted to tackle Cam Newton because of how big he was. He was so hard to bring down. And Josh is incredibly tough to bring down, obviously because of his size, but he's obviously a much better passer than Cam ever was, right? Much more polished and refined passer than Cam was. So that's why I said a better passing. I qualified it, right? A
Yeah,
better passing Cam Newton.
yeah. I can very much agree with that. That yeah,
Yeah.
that is a better comparison. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, yeah. Big arm, super, I mean, just incredibly uh physical presence at QB. And like you said, like when he gets going, he's hard to tackle. He's hard to bring down. He's hard to sack. There was one play where on third down against the Panthers where he scrambles around, he goes back like 10, 15 yards trying to escape the rush. And one of the Panthers defenders gets just enough of his leg to trip him up. But like that's what it takes to bring him down because he can run away from you, he can run through you, and he can stiff arm you to keep you from even getting close to touching him.
Yeah. That was shades of Eli Manning in the Super Bowl. Like yeah. If you know, you know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Next we got the Jets and Bungles. Man, honestly, the Jets beating the Bengals the way they did was not on my bingo card at all.
Me neither. Me neither. It was one of the shocks of the weekend. It might have been, well, maybe the Dolphins win. But I would say probably the Jets. The Jets are probably the surprise win of the weekend, just because you had the Bengals coming off their win on Thursday Night Football over Pittsburgh, where Jamar Chase went for 11 billion yards on like 100,000 receptions, because they decided to never double him. So you just thought, well, Flacco he's in a better situation with better talent than he was in Cleveland, and that the Jets, who have been a hapless organization, they've been competitive, right? They were competitive in the first couple of weeks of the season, just couldn't get over the hump. You had Woody Johnson coming out here saying, we'd be a better football team if we had a quarterback who could complete a pass. Um,
Yeah. Can you say worst owner ever?
man, he's up there. He might be Mount Rushmore, right? He might be on the Mount
Yeah.
Rushmore of bad
Yeah.
owners.
Yeah. Him him
Um,
him him and David Tepper are cousins, probably.
man, him and that, yeah, yeah, that's a great little duo right there. Um, But yeah, man. But shout out to Justin Fields overcoming that. I think he talked in press conferences about the struggles that he's faced just with confidence of not playing up to what he considers to be his expectation. Shout out to Aaron Glenn getting his first victory in the league as a head coach.
Yeah.
And
That
the
was
Jets
dope.
are going to be playing out the string, right? They're not going to be a team that's going to be playing for a playoff spot, but I think that team is talented enough to where they could play a spoiler to teams who are looking to make the playoffs or be in contention for the playoffs. So they still have something to play for. Obviously, they playing for their pride, playing for jobs, and so hopefully they'll continue to fight and try to get some more W's.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, we got to get to week 9, so I'm gonna quickly recap the rest of the week. Okay, so we got the Texans beating the Niners 26-15, the Pats beating the Clowns 32-13, the She-Eagles beat the Giants 38-20, the Bucks beat the Saints 23-3, the Broncos beat the Cowgirls 44-24. Boom, this went crazy. The Colts beat the Titans 38-14. And the Cheesehead beat the Steelers 35-25. and the Chiefs beat the team who shall not be named 28-7 on Monday Night Football.
I
and
see
and
that Drew influence is wearing off you with them nicknames. I see. I see.
yeah, you damn right about that.
That's what's up.
Yeah, you know ball right there. All right. Love you, Drew. All right, on to week 9, though. First off, speaking of the Ravens, Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime. The Ravens clash the Dolphins. Man, this game's going to be a wash, especially if Lamar
You
Jackson's
think
healthy.
so? You think so?
I don't know, man. You never know what to expect from the Dolphins week to week. Is Tua going to be the player that he was 2 years ago, despite less mobility, or is he going to completely fumble the bag and have no offense whatsoever? Actually, no. We're kind of in the same line here because if Tua is not carrying it, the only guy that's really doing anything is Devon Achane. I can't
Yeah.
rely on one
Yeah.
man to win the game. And Jalen Waddle is doing an okay job at best replacing Tyreek Hill's level of production. That's not a good outlook to have if you're the Dolphins.
So I'll say this, right? I mean, you're right. You're right. The Dolphins have been a team that's been their performance has been up and down. There's been a lot of losses. But they have been competitive in 3 of their last 4 games, right? So they lost to the Panthers by 3. They lost by 2 to the Chargers in a game I think that shocked a lot of people that it was even that close. They got blown out by the Browns, right? That was the one where you thought maybe Mike McDaniel was going to be fired. And then they went into Atlanta. Now, granted, Michael Penix Jr. didn't play, Drake London didn't play, but Kirk Cousins is a quality quarterback in the league, and if he's not what he used to be, and they spanked them, right? They won by 3 scores. So, I got the Ravens winning, right? So I do agree. I do think Lamar Jackson coming back, he should be fully healthy and healed from his hamstring injury. So I do got the Ravens winning, but I think this game is going to be more competitive than people are going to give it credit for. And it's a home game for Miami too.
All right, yeah. Let's see if you're right. I definitely got the Ravens too, and this is a pick to click. First of the field I'm about to announce. Okay, so next one we have another pick to click. Bears games got to get automatic picks to click. Bears and Bengals. This should be a close one. I of course had the Bears. I'm never going to go get the Bears no matter what. But if they can contain Jamar Chase, as what? Actually, no, yeah. I'd say they got to contain both Chase and T Higgins, but because you never know which one of the two is going to go off for a good
Yeah.
game. And and and
So
then
I
and then, and not to mention, sorry, I didn't make a cut you off.
no, you're
Not,
good. You're good. Do you
yeah,
think?
yeah, and not to mention Chase Brown a very has had a very welcome breakout with them as he was very up and down last year, and the way that he's been able to be played in the receiving game just adds another level of a threat to that Bengals offense. So if the secondary don't step up, it's going to be problems. But I got faith.
So here's the thing. I get we just saw the Bears lose a game where the third string quarterback technically play. And granted, Tyler Huntley was just okay. It wasn't like he set the world on fire. However, Joe Flacco hurt his shoulder in their loss to the Jets. He is questionable to play. I don't think he's going to play. So that means Jake Browning, who was awful, Cheeks, is going to be starting. If the Bears want to prove that they are a team that you have to take seriously, I'm not saying they got to blow them out because I don't think that's fair because these are all professionals. Everybody gets paid. Everybody, like I'm not saying they got to blow them out, but they need to win this game. I'm taking the Bears because it's highly likely that Jake Browning's going to start, and he has shown us nothing in his previous starts to make me to believe that he should be a threat to beat the Bears. But if this is the game right here, like I said, if the Bears want to prove that they are truly a team that could be a playoff threat, just a playoff threat, not necessarily to win the division or Super Bowl contender. They got to win this game.
Yeah, absolutely. At the very least for a division title chance, bare minimum.
See what you did there, bare minimum.
That's a bar, accidental bar. That's hilarious.
Yes, sir.
All right, next we had the Vikings and Lions. If all teams are, well, obviously not everyone's healthy on either squad, but I got the Lions clear.
Oh, this is so like again, I never want to predict a blowout, but right, like there you again, we've been health has been the name of the game, or at least been the word of the week on the show. And again, you have the Vikings who just lost Carson Wentz for the season. I forget who they went and signed. Now JJ McCarthy's coming back, but still, he hasn't. He's still a rookie, even though he's in his second year. He's still a rookie as a starter. You got the Lions at home. Aiden Hutchinson just got paid, so he's going to want to come out here and put on a good show. The Lions, who just came off a victory over the Buccaneers, where they pretty much dominated them, I think are going to. I think this is a blowout, right? Like I said, I don't like to predict blowouts, but I think this is going to be a blowout. I think the Lions are going to run away with this one fairly quickly. And yeah, I think the Vikings are going to have to start looking in the mirror and asking themselves if JJ McCarthy is their long-term answer. I don't like to think like that, but this is how this league is. It's very reactionary week to week. And people are not patient these days with these players. So I do think that this might be where Kevin O'Connell, excuse me, starts to wonder if he made the right choice and going with JJ McCarthy.
I mean, yeah, Ferris has been there. I mean, it sucks. It has to be mostly health related, but it's a valid question nonetheless.
Yeah, yeah,
And
for
and
sure.
then, and then like much like the Bengals, like the Lions as well have a really good two receiver tandem with Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jameson Williams. You never know which one of the two is gonna go out for a good game. It's mostly Amon-Ra St. Brown for what it's worth, but Jameson Williams can just have that surprise game out of nowhere with his very elite speed. So they gotta watch out for either of them for sure.
Yes, sir. And I'll say on the Viking side, JJ McCarthy, I don't think got to play with Addison Jordan or Jordan Addison, excuse me. So I think he having the ability to play with him and have him on the squad, I think it's something that could be definitely helpful for him and his development.
Yeah, he's very underrated for sure.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
All right, next we had the Panthers and Slackers, Packers. Because like I got to admit, as much as as much as me and Drew have nicknames for him, Jordan Love is kind of a good quarterback. Like as much as I don't want to admit it, he had a great game on Sunday.
Yeah, the Packers though are a weird team to me. Like I'm trying to come up with a fair analogy to describe it. Um, it's almost like how put it to you like this, right? So this is for my people who got kids, right? When you have kids, keeping your house clean is tough because the kid, no matter what you do, the kids always go and dirty it up. So here's the little dirty secret most Americans won't tell you. Most of Americans' houses, not like they're not clean, not in the sense of like there's like dirt and just like trash everywhere, but meaning that like toys and clothes might be on the floor, right? But
Yeah,
then when company come over, they go, we got to clean up because we can't have people see our toys and stuff on the floor. So you clean up. So when company comes over, it look good, right? So the Packers are like those types of Americans, right? When it's a national TV game, so when they playing the Cowboys, when they playing the Lions to open the season on national TV, or they got Sunday night football against the Steelers, they cleaning the house up. They want to make a good appearance. They want it to look nice. But when they have a game that's not like national TV where everybody's watching, you'd be like, it's the laundry's not done, the sink's full of dishes, and they're kicking back watching Love Island because who nobody's here to see it. Nobody's here to see it, right? So this is my concern with the Packers, right? Are y'all gonna be the team that's just gonna clean up because company's coming over? Or y'all just gonna be kicking back and chilling and relaxing? Let me just say, no judgment, people. No judgment. Have no judge. Listen, I have a child. It is hard to keep his room clean because he's a child. You clean it up and he messes it up. This is what happens. So no judgment on my part. We listen and we don't judge, right? Right, JC?
Yeah.
But I'm just saying. I'm just saying. That's how the Packers kick it from time to time.
Yeah, facts. We shall see. All right, next we have the Broncos and Texans. If Nico Collins is healthy, actually no, I shouldn't say that. Well, yes and no, because the Texans have proved that they can have good games without Nico Collins on the field, but they'll obviously be even more of a threat with him on it. But I will say, the Broncos defensively have been getting better. Not to mention the level of play that Bo Nix has risen to of late. This will be a good one. I got the Texans though.
Likewise, I'm not buying into Bo Nix. I know he's gotten a lot of hype because of the huge comeback against the Giants. And then like they destroyed the Cowboys, but the Cowboys defense is another one of those. It's free lunch with that defense. They're not very good. And to be the guy who scores 33 points in the fourth quarter, you also have to be the guy who also needed 33 points in the fourth quarter because you were trash the other three. You want to talk about Tim Tebow, right? Like you're also that guy, right? The Texans. So you're right. Shout out to the Broncos. We talked about the trenches as it relates to the Bears. The Broncos have done a really good job in the trenches. I think the stat is that they have like 35 sacks while giving up less than 10, which I believe is like a league record. But the Texans defense is going to stress that. They're have one of the best front fours in the league with Danielle Hunter, Will Anderson Jr. They have Derek Stingley Jr. at cornerback, Aziz Al-Shaair at linebacker. They're very good at all three levels of the defense. Jalen Petrie at safety. Um, but on the Broncos side, there is no Patrick Surtain the second. He's out. He's on IR for at least the next 3 weeks,
Ooh,
right? So if
that's
Nico
tough.
Collins can come back, that is tough. If Nico Collins can come back, Nick Chubb ran well against my Niners. Woody Marks had a good game against the Niners. CJ Stroud's a quality quarterback. If they can protect CJ, now that's the other side of the coin. The Texans' offensive line has not been great this year, but if they can protect CJ and Nico's back with no Surtain on the other side to try to shut him down, the Texans should edge out a victory.
Yeah, very solid analysis there. And not to mention, they're doing all this without Tank Dell too, because he's out the whole year, and he
Yep.
too is very explosive when he's healthy.
Yep, absolutely. But shout out to the young boys they got. They got Jalen Noel, Jaden Higgins. Jalen Noel had a decent game last week. Jaden Higgins popped off, I think maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago with a really good game. So they got some young talent. They're still looking to get better each week. So again, if they can protect CJ, I think they can win this game.
Yeah, facts. All right, next we have the Falcons and Patriots. Um,
Ooh,
pass.
wait. So Patriots at home? Patriots at home?
Yes.
I got Patriots.
Yeah, Patriots.
Uh,
And
yeah,
speaking of quarterbacks leveling up, Drake May.
Nikki MVP candidate, right?
Yeah, very sneaky, and he don't even have to rely on just Stephon Diggs that much in the offense to really have a good game. I mean, Ramondre Stevenson is okay at running back, but again, Drake May is able to utilize the many weapons that he has, even if there is no clear like breakout in the game in terms of his running back and receiving core. Like, he to me, he is not exactly like Tom Brady, but shades of him. The way he's able to utilize his personnel,
Easy, easy, JC. We can't be bringing up the goat's name. We can't not. Whoa, whoa, easy,
yeah,
easy.
yeah, like he doesn't play like him at all. But I'm just saying like the way he thinks and the way he's able to utilize his talent. If he can keep going at that pace, he'll certainly be top tier within this league within no time. But yeah, I got Patriots, and then their defense as well. They've been coming to play quite a bit too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. I got the Patriots, man. Travion Henderson, second round pick out of Ohio State, though. I think he might be the future for a running back for the Patriots.
Yeah, I can see that, especially if Stevenson continues his fumble concerns, and they'll go from there.
Yes, sir.
All right, next we have your Niners against the Little Giants.
Ah, so first of all, prayers up to Cam Scatterboo. Obviously suffered the terrible ankle injury. Hopefully
Yeah.
he's recovering well. Um, I got the Giants. I mean, if you follow if you follow it's a black and white thing, you know that I'm a sports pessimist. Always expect the worst for my team, so that way, if they exceed expectations, I'm a happy man. But I just think that the Niners are too injured, too banged up, and I think their offensive line is not going to hold up against that Giants pass rush.
And then they still don't have Brock Purdy, correct?
So they're not sure. So that's the other problem, right? They're still not sure with the turf toe injury. Mac Jones has a knee issue that he might not be available. So I mean, again, you might see me out there with some pads on, throwing the ball come Sunday because I just don't. I think Adrian Martinez is their third quarterback, so he might be the one getting the start on Sunday if those two cannot play.
Okay, so if that happens, expect the majority of the workload to be on CMC.
I mean, yeah, yeah, and they've been utilizing him insanely. He's on pace for a 300 touch season when you factor in catches and running plays. So expect a heavy dose of CMC come Sunday, especially if Mac Jones can't play.
Yeah, and then yeah, I can kind of see the Giants taking over offensively with the weapons that they have. Even without Cam Scatterboo, like Wandale Robinson has kind of had his own breakout this year.
Yeah, and I mean, listen, Wandale's been really good. Tyrone Tracy Jr. was a really good running back for the Giants last year. He lost his job due to injury when Scatterboo came on the scene, but I think he can be a quality running back still for the New York Giants.
But yeah, for sure. Then they'll have like a decent enough 1-2 punch once Scatterboo gets back healthy.
Yep, yep, absolutely.
All right, next we have. Oh, I should have included this as a rivalry game. Uh, Colts and Steelers.
You know what? I should take the Colts because the Steelers defense can't stop nobody, but I'm gonna take the Steelers in an upset. It's time for the Colts to lose a game, right? Like at some point they're going to lose a game they shouldn't win. That already happened once, or in the reverse when they won a game they should have lost against Denver. I think this is the game where the Steelers a mild upset over the Colts.
Yeah, I can kind of see that as long as the offense fires on all cylinders and Metcalf doesn't cause any turmoil on the sidelines.
Man, like that dude has like some of the lowest emotional intelligence in the league. He routinely is getting into it with somebody and doing some silly stuff that he ain't got no business. But yeah, I think this is the game where the Steelers, like I said, mild, small upset over the Colts.
Yeah, imagine if they traded for him but never traded George Pickens. They would have many a fights every practice.
I think they got him out of there. Well, for several reasons, right? You can't have too many knuckleheads. They already know what it's like when you got too many knuckleheads in the locker room. And if you had George Pickens on that roster with DK after the Steelers paid DK, you would have seen George Pickens not only acting the fool, but he would have. I don't know if you heard the term quiet quitting on the job.
Yes.
Pickens was already quiet quitting on the job where he wouldn't run a route. If an interception happens, he would be more involved in trying to fight his man instead of trying to make the tackle. I think you would have seen a lot of them shenanigans from Pickens if he was still on the squad. So they made the right decision to at least get rid of him so you wouldn't have, freaking frack at your wide receiver 1 and 2.
Yeah, 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 for sure. Yeah, I got the Colts though. Like Daniel Jones of all people. of all people to play at the level he is right now. See, in a lot of ways, coaching matters.
Hey, I don't believe in Daniel Jones. He gonna have to prove me wrong. He's had a really good season. I'm not buying it. It's AI. It's AI. It's not real. It's not real.
I mean, AI. Wait, no, no. I'm gonna scratch that one. It was gonna be a bad pun. I'm like AI never crossed up Jordan, but then AI did cross up Allen Iverson. So
Sometimes the best rebuttals are the ones you don't say.
yeah, facts. All right, next we got the Chargers and Titans. I got Chargers clear. What are we doing here?
Easy,
What are we doing here?
easy. Yeah,
Yeah,
easy dub for the Chargers.
yeah,
No further analysis needed. No notes.
yep. Same thing with the next one. Saints and Rams. Rams.
No notes. No notes. BTA.
Oh, another one. Jaguars and Raiders.
Ooh,
Jaguars.
I
Wait,
mean,
wait, wait. Actually, maybe not.
if an
Maybe
NFL
not.
game happens and nobody watches it, did it really happen?
If a tree falls in the forest and no one is around to hear, it doesn't.
Because only this is one of those a face only a mother could love games. Um,
Ouch!
because
Ouch!
who's what? The only people who are watching this game, there's three people, three types of people watching this game. Four people. No, three. I'm gonna go back to three. Jaguars fans, Raiders fans, degenerate gamblers. That's the only types of people watching this game. There is no
Wait,
reason.
wait, wait! No, 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 no. There is four: Jaguar fans, Raider fans, degenerate gamblers, and then there's the source.
Hey man, shout out to Source, man. That's hilarious. That is hilarious.
All up,
Super
Pete.
funny.
All up, Pete. Two-time
All
MVP.
love, man. Salute to the legend, man. Salute to the legend.
I had to. I had to. It was too
That's
easy to pass
hilarious.
up. Yeah. Honestly, if Ashton Genty can have a good game, if obviously we know that he carries the Raiders offense to a T. If
Yeah.
he can have a good game and the Raiders actually step up their defense, they can have a chance.
Yeah, Gino has regressed greatly. But I think they need to hopefully they get Brock Bowers back. That'll help Gino. And then if they get Jacoby Myers back, because he missed the last game against the Chiefs, and then with Genty, like they have some good weapons, right? So I mean, if they can figure that out, that might be the only reason I tune into that game is because I want to see Ashton Genty because I'm a fan. That's it.
Yeah, he's definitely been one of the most exciting players to come into the league at the running back position in a long time.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh yeah.
Especially with that Michael Myers stance.
He's a trailblazer, man. I've seen kids in college now with copying that stance. So shout out to him, man. I hope that Chip Kelly and Pete Carroll can figure things out offensively and get things at least be competitive because that game against the Chiefs was crazy. I saw a guy who watches film. He goes, I cut on the offensive film for the Raiders. It took me 4 minutes and 30 seconds to watch every offensive play. That's how bad they got dominated. Less than 5 minutes, he watched their entire tape from the Chiefs game. So hopefully they can at least be competitive.
10 minutes at least.
Man, let's get to 10 minutes at least. At least let's set a new goal.
Yeah. Speaking of the Chiefs, we got a rivalry game here. Another picks to click. The Bills. If we know anything about these two, they'll always be a shootout. Always.
Man, Josh and Patrick, they put on the show almost every time they play each other. It almost always comes down to a last second play. Last year in Buffalo, Josh Allen, to me, he cemented his MVP case. He ran for a touchdown to close that game out. I think they ended up winning by 9. That was the final margin of victory. It was a third down, all out blitz from the Chiefs, and then he ended up taking it like 20 yards to the end zone to seal that game. I'm going to go with the Chiefs just because that offense has just been scorching hot with Rasheed Rice back, Xavier Worthy healthy, Travis Kelsey making some plays as of late. They lost Isaiah Pacheco, so that's gonna we'll see how that affects their running game. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Chiefs squeaking out another close matchup.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say the fact that that Patrick and Travis have sort of like reignited their initial connection from when he first burst onto the scene. It has been very exciting to see, and when they get going like that, they're definitely one of the best receiver quarterback tandems in the league, no question. And yeah, as far as the Bills, it's really gonna depend on who's able to come through as far as supporting cast of receivers and how well James Cook plays. I mean, I, I mean,
James Cook.
I mean, essentially, it is going to come down on who's supporting cast performs better, because,
Yep.
because we know what the quarterbacks are going to do, 100%. With that being said, I have the Bills by a slight edge.
Ooh, okay, okay. Not mad at that. Not mad. I mean, it's a pick'em game, right? I think on the defensive side of the ball, something to watch. Ed Oliver, the interior lineman for the Bills, I think he got put on IR. I know he's hurt. He won't play this next game, but I believe he got put on IR. He suffered a pectoral injury, so that's a huge blow because he had been having a really good season. And so we'll see if the Chiefs can take advantage of that. You can run the ball on the Bills, but how effective Kansas City can be at that, and will Andy Reid, who's notorious for going away from the run, will he stick with the run even without Pacheco? Is something that's going to be interesting to watch.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Especially considering Pacheco's kind of working his way back into the system after being out that long.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's definitely a setback for him. Because listen, I've not been a Pacheco fan this year. I caught him a bottom five running back in the league, but that he has been playing better as of late. So to see him have a setback like that after playing better football the last 3 weeks, it stinks for him. But I believe in Kareem Hunt. I like the rookie they have, Rashard Smith, and I want to see if Elijah Mitchell, they signed him in the offseason to a 1 year deal, but he's been inactive all year. So hopefully he'll be active for the first time. And I'm as he's a former Niner, so I'm curious to see what he can bring to the table.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. He definitely showed flashes last year. So yeah, so hopefully the Chiefs bring him in. All right. Next one we have Sunday Night Football. Another place to click. Seahawks and Washington.
I'm going with the Seahawks. I think their defense is going to be too much. Terry McLaurin re-injured his, I think it's either quad or hamstring. Re-injured his hamstring. Jaden Daniels is going to play, but you need a guy like Terry against a team like the Seahawks. I got the Seahawks and Sam Darnold, who I also don't believe in. Still don't believe in. Um, I got
Yeah,
them. I got them winning this game on the road.
yeah, for sure. I mean, for what it's worth, Washington can't just rely on Debo Samuel to get the job done on receiver, and the Seahawks have plenty of talent to save face. So yeah, I got the Seahawks. All right, and then
Yes, sir.
finally Monday night, Cards and Cowboys. I got the Cowboys clear. Yes, Dak
So
had an off.
oh, go ahead. Go ahead. My fault. My fault.
Yeah, yes, Dak had an off game, but he has kind of shown what he can truly be capable of. The Cowboys defense aside, we know that the Cardinals, as of right now, are kind of bottom tier. If the Cowboys can keep up with what they were doing, they got it in the bag, no question.
So that analogy I made about parents not keeping the house clean.
Yeah,
This applies to the Cowboys double. When
yeah,
they play a
very
national
fair.
TV game, they're really good. They're really good. So I got the Cowboys. I got Dak getting back into the MVP conversation with his performance. So I got Cowboys as well, clear.
Yeah, especially with the level of play that he's been able to enact on his receivers, especially George Pickens. He's he's making the Steelers regret trading him tenfold.
For sure. For
It's,
sure. He trying
it's
to get paid too. So he gonna be in his best behavior.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. That brings me back to the Bengals analogy, like with the two receiver tandem. With him and CD Lamb, you never know who's gonna have a good game, because if one gets keyed on, the other gonna have a wide open field the whole game. So if they can plan for that, we'll see.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And that just about does it for week 9. To recap the picks to quick, we have the Ravens and Dolphins, Bears and Bengals, the Chiefs and Bills, Seahawks and Commanders, Cardinals and Cowboys, and of course the Chiefs and Bills is a rivalry game worth 5 points. Now, I'll be posting these on Facebook, so once I do get your picks in now, they will be due by 6:45 tomorrow. Good luck to you all, and any last words before we land this plane?
Nah, man, it's always glad to be on with you, man. Shout out to Drew in his absence. Shout out to Ward in his absence. Shout out to me wearing my grandmother's shirt. Looks like it came from the drapes from the '70s. I appreciate you having me on, man.
You out you out here looking like Al Borowin.
Yep, that's me. That's me.
Speaking of, salute to you. Yeah, yeah.
Appreciate you, man.
All seriousness, thank you so much for coming on, my dog.
Yes,
Always
sir.
love, and hopefully you and Ward come on every couple of weeks to keep the plane rolling in Drew's absence, and making sure the channel stays active, and very much appreciated.
Yes,
And
sir.
thank
Yes, sir.
and
My
thank
pleasure, man.
and thank you all for tuning in to the Field of Generals. He's A1. I'm the Archduke Josh Carroll.